to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I am Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we're the team behind Yarnia and Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I can't not say it all in one thing.
It's like a loop. It comes around and goes around.
Like the first year or so, I was like, because I can't keep anything in my head. I was like, I need to reference it.
Repeating it to remember.
And now I'm like, the team behind Yarnia. La, la, la. I'm like, I'm just gonna, it's rote now, but in a good way.
Yeah.
We are a podcast all about knitting and crocheting and things you can do with yarn and embroidery floss and embroidery and things like that. Basically making stuff.
We are. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us again.
Yes.
And if you're a new viewer, welcome you as well.
Welcome. We digress. We should warn you.
Yes.
But that's okay because it's fun.
We say, maybe when we refresh our graphics, we can have We Digress.
We Digress as our subtitle or subhead.
We gotta work that.
Because I guess we have the Chronicles of Yarnia and then a podcast from Montclair's local yarn store, and then we would need like a third subhead or a tagline. It would be a tagline. We digress. Like a little badge.
I was just thinking buttons. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I just need that in general line.
All the ideas. Yes.
Like I can't stay on a track.
Yes.
Focus and easily distracted. Like shiny things,
Squirrel
and yarn.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But welcome. What are we talking about this week? We should talk a little bit about what's going on around town.
I have not prepped.
Oh, me either. But you know what?
I've only prepped my projects.
I was saying earlier, my entire family caught a stomach bug last week. And
it's been a great 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you didn't catch it.
No, I didn't. I didn't get it. And neither did my oldest daughter, Beth. And we sort of think it was the stomach bug of Christmas of 2003.
Oh, so maybe it's the same thing that you guys
got
years ago.
That was bad.
Yeah.
But Beth and I and Catherine had it, but
in
the rest of them weren't alive.
Right.
And this time, the rest of them got it, but we didn't.
Interesting.
See, that's nice. Be glad you didn't get it, because I feel like I finally woke up from the dead on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was like it took me. Children bounce back so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Even my 14-year-old, I was saying earlier, came upstairs on Friday morning and he's like, I'm not going to school. I just threw up. And I was like,
Don't sound so chipper.
I am like on death's door, basically lying on the sweet, sweet cold tile floor of the bathroom, going wishing for relief of in some way, shape, or form. And I was like, go downstairs. And why are you so happy?
Yeah.
Because he was like, I feel much better now. And like bounced downstairs and was like, I hate the world.
Yeah. Charlie's like that. He gets sick and then he looks at you, he's like,
immediately better.
I know.
And I'm like,
I want ice cream.
Yeah.
You can't have juice.
Yeah, exactly.
Ali at least had the good graces of being like, I am both hungry and I'm terrified to eat. I was like, attaboy.
You're smart.
That is the way it should be. And Max is like, let's make mac and cheese. And I was like, shut your face.
No.
Stop that now.
I was like, you don't talk. But at least by Friday, Ollie was over it and he was back in school because, again, he had it on Tuesday.
He had it first.
Jonathan, me, and Max all fell on Thursday to Friday. Oh. And that was bad.
And in spite of that, Jen still did our partner Zoom.
I did our partner Zoom, but
no camera on Friday.
No camera, because nobody needs to see that.
But she contributed.
And from bed, where I was like, I'm not moving. It was actually a good distraction because I was like,
yeah. No, sometimes when you feel crappy, it's like anything to take your mind over for an hour, right? Yeah.
I couldn't even focus to watch TV, which is when you know it's bad.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is.
You can't watch TV or can't knit. That's the worst.
Especially for me. I'm like, I can always watch TV, you guys. This is not...
There comes a point in labor where you can't watch TV.
Yes. And that's... I remember that. Because I remember as soon as I got the epidural with Max, I was like, oh, look, there's a Law and Order marathon on. This is the best day of my life because I finally no longer feel pain.
Yes.
I am not uncomfortable, and I'm just gonna watch Lenny Briscoe for 8 hours, waiting for
Waiting for this baby to show up.
waiting for baby to show up, and like nap for the first time in 9 months. It was delightful.
I had a very unfortunate relationship with Last of the Mohicans and Tom and Jerry for that reason. It's like that was what was on TV when I was like, the world.
You're like this. I know, yeah.
Wow.
And that was just my
Thankfully.
first when I thought that I was going to be like, all natural. Bless you, folks who
I mean,
actually
do
do.
it.
Yes, more
Oh.
power to you guys.
More power.
I was all natural, not by choice.
Well, and that's the
That
thing.
was awful.
I was with Pitocin for
Oh God.
Oh God.
18 hours.
Oh
With
my
the-
God.
No.
With Beth? Or
Yeah, with Beth.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
I had the Pitocin with no other medication. Normally, like when they induce you, they
Yes.
give you a sleeping pill as well. It was too late in the evening to do that because there was the baby boom, and like a lot of people came in the same day I was being induced,
Wow.
which sucked.
And
And I was like, I have a high pain tolerance. Let's see how I do. And as soon as they gave me the Pitocin, I was like, so what time can I get the epidural?
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw up on you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it was like 6 hours, and then I got the epidural, and I practically kissed the anesthesiologist, who was
I
a
know.
lovely, lovely woman, and was like, I get a lot of marriage proposals. I'm like, I bet you do, because you are my favorite human in the world
It
right
makes
now.
such a difference.
Oh my God. It was,
Yeah.
and my mom had both kids, both me and my brother, naturally.
Well, my mom did too, but they were holding her knees together. She got out of the car.
Oh wow.
Like,
That was my mom with my brother.
Wow. And he's older than you, right?
Yeah, he came like
Wow.
a
I was
month
first.
early,
That's amazing.
but like fully cooked.
And
so I was
then
like,
and then there's people like Haley who take 44 hours.
yeah.
I know.
I do
And I'm
love her. I do love her.
Yeah.
In spite of the 44 hours.
There's a reason there's one.
That is one of the several reasons that she's a solo.
That would do. I mean, there's a reason my kids are 5 years apart.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, God bless you if you can do it without the I mean, I loved the epidural.
It
Loved
was really
so
lovely.
much. I literally said, I was like, I wish I had had this like 4 months ago, because I'm not a happy pregnant person. You're like,
I'm fine.
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
I was fine until labor.
Oh my God. I was 41 weeks with Max of misery.
Oh.
That would make a
Nausea.
big difference. I would not have as many
Sucked.
children as I do if it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing for the next few months.
Yeah.
It's no big deal
And
for
again-
me, and I'm super blessed that it's that way.
Yeah.
And my mom was always like, she's like, I felt great pregnant. And I was like, I hate this so much.
Although, I mean, I do feel slightly nauseous for about 4 months, but it's okay. That's like so. So on what one day this past 2 weeks, I did wake up and I felt like, I feel a little nauseous. Nah, I've done this for about 5 years. So.
You're like, meh, it's no worse than whatever. Yeah,
It's sort of status quo. I don't mind.
basically, like, I felt nauseous from day one to as soon as and like food aversions, couldn't eat anything. Lost weight when I was pregnant.
Wow.
Was at my lowest weight each time I gave birth.
Wow.
As soon as the kid
Wow.
was out, and it was fine. Believe me, I got enough padding. It's fine. And Jonathan was like, "What can you eat today?" And I was like, Breyer's vanilla ice cream with like the chocolate flakes, mashed potatoes,
White food.
watermelon.
Ooh, I can't even eat watermelon normally.
I mean, that's
That's
how.
one of my. Ugh.
Um,
I hate the
like,
smell of it.
Not
Did
not
you have
much.
things that you like suddenly wanted when you were pregnant?
No, I mean, I always like watermelon. I always like mashed potatoes, and I really do like that Breyer's ice cream. But they were the only things I could stand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I couldn't stand protein. I couldn't stand smells.
And
like,
it's interesting.
nothing was appetizing.
And I'm that way with migraines. I've had that throughout my life, but migraine related, not pregnancy
Oh, yeah.
related.
Yeah.
So
It's,
I didn't have many
100%
migraines when I was
hormones.
pregnant.
Oh my goodness, I had
Which
so
is
many migraines,
interesting.
and you can't take anything.
no,
No.
which is the
So you
worst.
just like go to bed.
You're like,
Yeah.
can I drink a can of Coke and like sleep?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but,
Which actually, to me, that is one of the things that still work best.
I mean, Coke is an amazing migraine. fix.
No.
Coca-Cola.
Even Coke syrup. I remember when
yeah.
I was really little, if somebody had a stomach bug or
The
something,
cola syrup.
yeah, my mother used to go to the drugstore and get a bottle of Coke syrup, and I'd be like, "Ooh, can you get another one of those?"
And you're like, I just want to
That
drink
was
it.
the only time
So
we were allowed
yummy.
to drink Coke soda.
Wow.
Because
Soda.
RC Cola.
And a moon
I was
pie.
like,
That's Jean's thing. RC Cola and a moon pie. It's
We
like
had
such
RC Cola.
this
We
is
didn't
not-
have moon pies in Alabama. But, or at least when I was growing.
Uh-huh.
That I was aware of. But we had RC Cola. So that was what we had. A Coke float.
Oh, I love a Coke
But
float.
everything was a Coke, so.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's like, yeah, you go down south and it's like, I'll have a Coke. And you're like, what kind of Coke?
Right.
Orange Coke.
Right. I'll have a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Any of those.
So.
Wait, did you call it, in the south you called it Coke,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We called it soda. My mother's southern.
That's what I call it now, is soda, because if I just say Coke, I would literally get a Coke, which is not what I want.
No, you're
See.
like, you want to know what kind of Coke? So no.
Coke is really the only kind of soda that I like.
Oh my god, I'll drink. It took me years to break myself of a soda habit.
I totally
It was
have-
so delicious.
Stomach bug is related to Coca-Cola in my
Yeah.
brain,
Uh-huh.
like that
Totally.
flavor, and I never want it unless I'm sick.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And if I'm not sick, why would I want it? Because it reminds me of being sick.
Yeah.
That's-
Every now and then, if I'm getting a slice of pizza, I'll get a fountain Coke, which that's such a good combo. That reminds me of my childhood. That was, when I was really little, a special treat now and then.
Yeah, fountain
Slice
Coke
and a fountain Coke.
and like the old school Mexican Coke that's made with real sugar
Uh-huh.
and Cheez-Its.
Ooh.
Combo. It's
Oh.
so good.
Have I told you guys about I've started making
No,
Mexican Coke with a shot of espresso?
Ooh.
I bet that's
It's so
delicious.
good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Coffee sodas are where it's at, let me tell you. Like espresso sodas. So there's
It's like a very Italian thing, isn't it?
There's that one. You can also do put in a maraschino cherry.
Yes.
Love really
'Cause
good
it's like
Slash
maraschino
vanilla.
cherries.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds yummy.
Those are delicious. Try it out, right? Like find a good Mexican Coke soda, Coke,
Mexican Coke.
Yeah.
with the real sugar. They sell them at Paper Planes. They also
They
have a
do.
lot of
Oh,
sodas.
they have it at Costco,
coffee sodas
too.
there.
Yeah. You can also get kosher Coke.
Is that real
Really?
sugar too?
Kosher Coke is real sugar because they won't use corn syrup.
Okay. Good to
But you
know.
can only get it around Passover, which is coming up.
Yes.
I
it is.
believe
Really?
it's the Coke bottles, it's the 2-liter bottles with the yellow caps. But they are certified kosher for Passover, kosher Coke,
Nice.
and Mexican Coke. Mexican Coke has always used cane sugar. It's
Yeah.
often
Yeah.
in the glass bottles.
Glass bottles
Yep.
usually, yeah.
But so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always keep a couple of those
The
glass
stash
bottles in the
downstairs.
fridge for our cravings of
Just in case.
espresso and Coke.
Espresso and Coke. That sounds pretty good. Although I do like my coffee with dairy, so I don't know. Jonathan might like an espresso Coke. He likes.
Try in the summertime. It's nice and refreshing.
Mm-hmm. See, I'd need to have it at noon though, because if I have caffeine too late in the day, I don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm about done at 1.
Yeah.
And even then, I can't have a full coffee. But I'll front load. It'll be fine. This is my second of the day. Can you tell?
That's my problem. As soon as I get downstairs, the first thing I do, pet Anna, pour my coffee.
Yeah. I mean, we're also super spoiled for choice here because we have, literally, where we are, we have Bluestone,
Yes.
literally next door.
Are these from Bluestone? Is that where
Yes.
you went?
Yes.
Yeah. They have amazing chai lattes, by the way. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
And then,
Jen's having a vanilla chai. I'm having a spiced chai, so you get an option.
yes.
And I've got a latte with
vanilla
vanilla
latte.
syrup.
Yeah. And then we also have Local Coffee, who are, both Bluestone and Local have the nicest profiteers. They are just delightful.
Local has the funniest.
Oh my god.
Sidewalk
they're
signs.
So funny.
Yes.
Even if you're just driving by,
They're hilarious. Total. I get a green chops around the corner, and
Yeah.
every time I'm like, and it's different on the front and the back. I don't know who thinks of these things.
Oh wow.
I think it's the owner.
He
What's
thinks
his
of these
name?
things.
Why can't I think of his name?
He must be the funniest human in
Is
the
it John?
world.
He's delightful, and they're very dog friendly there.
Very,
Bluestone is an actual sit down restaurant.
Which is often packed.
Yes.
By the way. If you're coming on a Saturday or a Sunday,
Yeah.
it's packed.
Mhm.
This morning it was there's plenty of space.
Which is nice. During the week, like a lot of folks come on the weekdays. If you have ever watched the coffee, what's the comedians with
Comedians
coffee?
in Cars.
Comedians in Cars with Coffee with Seinfeld, with the Stephen Colbert episode, he's at Bluestone.
They go to Bluestone.
Because Stephen Colbert loves Bluestone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
And it's good light, too.
doesn't?
They have good light.
they do have good
And
lines.
somebody told me they drive past my house.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm sure they must.
I know where they live.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going
I know,
from this
I know.
place
I'll
to
tell you.
Bluestone,
I'll
then...
tell you exactly where they live.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, we're super spoiled for choice, and plus the hair salon coffee place is also really good, and then
Yeah.
And
Ian
Ian
Madison's
Madison's. I actually
is
really like their
lovely.
coffee. Like
Their coffee is really
on
good.
Thursday, a lot of times between classes, I'll go grab a coffee and a sandwich, and it's
And then we also have
We have Java Love Uptown.
Java Love Uptown and
Mhm.
downtown
Mhm.
And downtown,
on Church
that's right.
Street.
and actually one of their owners has been taking classes for a
Oh,
while here
really?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing
Lovely.
great. Yep, she's
And
cranking
then,
right along.
That was my favorite spot when I lived uptown, and now I live downtown, and I'm on paper planes all
Paper
the way.
plane.
Oh, yeah,
is
that's
so
probably your
good.
closest, and it's so good.
Love
and
it.
I
Love it,
love
love
their new space. It's so fun. I love
It's
Oh, it's
so
so
cute.
fun.
So
It's
adorable.
super cute. They just moved from like a
They
side
move like
street,
a door down, basically.
but now they
Yeah.
have the corner
They've got the
unit, and
corners,
it's
yeah.
huge,
Really
and
nice.
it's beautiful, and they get all their pastries from Le French Dad, which is where Beth
Beth
works. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
If you go to Paper
So
Planes
fun.
on like any morning, but especially on the weekends, the pecan croissant, like pecan sticky
Is that what
roll
she makes?
things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's croissant dough with pecans. It's like
Oh my
the
god.
lightest.
That sounds amazing.
What's the Cinnabon?
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like a Cinnabon on a what do you
with
call
the
it?
croissant
croissant
pastry.
base.
Wow.
It's like the best.
Okay, now I'm hungry.
I know,
Yeah.
you have to try one.
Sounds so good.
It's so good. I mean, you could totally do like a breakfast food tour of Montclair.
Yeah.
It's super easy. There's so many great spots.
Recommendations for the Woolwalk.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something we should talk a little bit about
Yeah.
about what's going on around town. Is that the Woolwalk is coming up?
Actually, we should do a little map of Montclair for the Woolwalk to
Yes.
hand out that has the coffee spots.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, like here's a
to
morning.
keep you going.
Here's our morning map,
Yeah.
and here's our evening map. Right? Like,
Yeah.
are you looking for caffeine to get you started in the morning, as well as a lovely place for lunch?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or are you looking for we're on the later side, we need a late lunch, early dinner situation going on? In
Yep.
which case, I would be like, go to Da Peppo and
Oh,
Peppo,
the Peppo.
definitely.
get those meatballs.
Talk
We
a
should
little bit about
talk.
Woolwalk.
Yeah,
Right?
So it's coming up in April.
Yep,
the very
it is
end.
the very last 5 days of April, the 26th through the 30th.
Excellent.
And we are just beginning to work on, the specials we're going to be doing here at Yarnia. I think it's so nice that we're doing it in 5 days this time.
I love that. I think that's a good sweet spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice in between number. 4 days was really too short, which was what it
Yes.
was pre-pandemic. 9 days was too long, which was what it was, during
That was a lot.
and late
That's
in the
like when
pandemic.
company comes over.
Yeah.
Even your own parents.
Yeah.
And after 9
And they
days,
stay too
you're
long.
like,
Like, you can go.
this is enough.
Yeah. Well, everyone was tired. It was like,
Yeah,
even though,
exactly.
and we are so lucky we have a lot of staff here. We have a lot of part-timers. We love
Yeah.
them all. They're
Our
all
team
great.
is great. Yeah.
We
really
it was just too long to be doing all those things. So 5 days, I feel like it's going to feel like, like a happy little
Yeah.
sprint,
You get a couple of weekdays, you get a full weekend, and I feel like, for the folks who don't know what New Jersey Woolwalk is, it's basically local
a yarn
yarn
crawl.
stores.
It's
It's
a
a yarn
pub
crawl.
It's a pub crawl.
But it's
for
buy
yarn.
It's the entire state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So
But New Jersey is pretty compact
Exactly.
relative to a lot of other states. There
Certainly.
are 22 stores participating this year.
Mm.
And every store will do raffles themselves. Everyone chooses how they do it.
Cool.
What we've done in the past and we're going to do again this year is have a basket a day, which
I
I
think
think
that's gonna be
is
so
so fun
fun.
because
Yeah.
you'll know on the day that you're there what is in that raffle basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll tell you in advance so you can plan your route.
Yep.
Exactly. We are going to be open until 7 on the Wednesday night, the kickoff day.
yeah.
Basic hours for all stores are 10 to 5 for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then 11 to 5 or 4. 11 to 4, I think. It'll all be on our website.
Yes, I agree. It's 11 to 4 on Sunday.
Yes.
Because
on
we
Sunday,
didn't have to extend our normal Sunday.
Yep.
We just extended it like an hour earlier,
Right.
but not later. And
Which is sort of earlier, although I'm here often. I feel like often. It's once a month at 11 anyway to do Hooked on Grannies, which we did last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
So yeah, all the hours will be on the New Jersey Woolwalk site for all the stores, and I'm sure Amanda will be reactivating our page soon.
Yes,
with,
I got to do that.
with our New Jersey Woolwalk info.
With our info and the coffee map.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get that coffee map.
Coffee map, because we're a very good like starting point for a lot of people because we're kind of centrally located.
Mm-hmm. And we're close to the Garden State.
We're close to the Garden
We're
State.
close to 280.
Yeah, close to 280. And also,
or like hit us and the local yarn store, and then get on 280.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you can like, you can do like the little cluster of folks who aren't, who are within like a half an hour, 45 minutes of us, and get food or get breakfast or what have you, and then, or if you're coming from the south or if you're coming from farther north, like you can start where you guys are and then come hit us, and then
and keep going.
Yeah.
Either south or west.
Get some of the closer stores this year. I did some of the shore stores and like mid-Jersey last year with Edith.
Edith, who hits all the stores.
But I haven't done the ones, the local ones around, localish to us. The hour away ones, or 40-minute away ones.
Yeah. And I mean, it's nice because New Jersey is small enough that you can do them all.
Yeah, and basically the prizes...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say my friend. So I had a yarn store owner friend in Iowa. That's where my daughter went to school. I loved her store. It closed like a year or two ago. Loved it. Knitting next door. So good.
Cute.
But they have a state yarn crawl as well. That lasts a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they need
it.
to get to all those different places. Yeah.
Because it's so big.
And they probably don't do it as intensively. You couldn't for a month, right? I mean, they probably just have certain deals and things.
Yeah, you little special events or whatever.
Yeah.
But no.
So, so in addition to all the baskets and giveaways that stores will have, individual stores, you do get a passport. In order to participate, you need to get a passport. The passport is $6, and $1 of that.
I'll put a picture up.
Okay. $1 of that is donated to the New Jersey Community Food Bank, I believe, which is the same charity we've been doing for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Food Bank is so great.
Yeah, it's we were looking for a statewide charity that would help anyone. Kind of, we were trying not to be as sort of targeted as it had been in previous years. So that is that's great, and there's going to be a special stitch marker that every store has that you will get free with a $35 purchase. We at Yarnia always do our little giveaway that you get with a similar purchase. Those are on my list to order today.
Okay. Ooh, so you'll see what they are next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have them. Well, we may not have them next time, but we may have a mock-up by then.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. So so you get your passport by visiting stores. You get some free goodies when you make a relatively small purchase.
Yep.
Excuse me. And at the end, though, you turn in your passport. You either leave it at the last store you visit, or you can mail it to, it's on there. I think it is Irina at the local yarn store in South Orange who's collecting them.
Unless you're a very organized person, just leave it at the last.
Yeah, just leave it at the last store. We had a bunch of people, come back and turn it in here last year.
Oh, that's an option, too.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you
don't...
go
to your...
Because you have a week, I think. Something, a week or so that you need to get it in.
I'd see it
and I would forget it.
It would still be there.
I wouldn't
mail
it
like,
either.
I missed my shot to win.
Yep.
And there are tiers basically. So if you visit, I think it's 1 to 8 stores, you're in a drawing for a certain level gift card, and if it's 9 to 15, I don't know the exact numbers, but there are 3 groups. It's people that visited.
It's all on the passport.
Yeah.
It is all on the passport. A few stores or the website, if not actually the passport. And then there are people who, as Amanda was saying, visit every single store. So it's like if you visit 19 through 22, you're in a drawing for the biggest gift card. And it's so nice. What we've done the last few years is the prize is a gift card to spend at your favorite local yarn store.
Aw, that's nice.
That's participating. So,
which I love. I think that's such a great.
Yeah, we had one of the winners, chose us last year, which was really nice. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. So that is kind of the Woolwalk in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll be hearing more about it. And what we did last year, and we will have to look at this again, I'm sure we will, is the way Woolwalk tends to be so crazy. I mean, we literally could have 50 people in here, especially on the first day.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is in-store only during the Woolwalk. But what we did last year was we did some discounts online following.
Yeah.
Because it is so frenetic that we can't be like looking at things coming in through the register and pulling things while people are grabbing things out of baskets.
We can't do our usual, like, it's outside of our daily routine kind of situation.
Yeah.
So one other thing, speaking of the food bank, which of course helps mitigate food insecurity here in New Jersey.
Yes.
There's another yarn event.
Yes,
specifically geared towards food insecurity nationwide.
Yeah.
And that is happening tomorrow.
Ah.
So apologies for the late notice. But tomorrow, March 26th, is Laura Nelkin's Knit for Food.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I wish we had kind of had a heads up on earlier because we could have done a team. If I
had opened my newsletters, we would have figured it out. But Nitty Natty has a team.
See, I didn't see anything about that.
It's on her last podcast. Information is about it on her last podcast, which I watched as I was doing some of the things I'm working on over here. So I'll put links to her information about it down below. She's going to have some live events as well for folks who are knitting along. If you want to get involved on very short notice, I'm not sure if like those those tickets, essentially are sold out yet or not, because it would all be for charity. But you can certainly support the cause, knit along. There's tons of knitters worldwide, or probably worldwide, certainly nationwide, who are knitting along on Sunday. It's sort of like a walkathon, where like they're
trying to knit for 12 hours, basically.
Yeah, you knit for 12 hours, and you have sponsors, right? Like who are committing to, sponsor you and raise money for charity. And let me see if I can remember. They're splitting, so Laura Nelkin is splitting the proceeds between 3 charities, Meals on Wheels.
Nice.
And 2 other food ones that I forgot what they are.
I thought it was 4 altogether. I thought I saw somewhere that it was 4. I don't know. Anyway.
But you'll put the link in.
I will have the links for Laura like the main event info is down below, as well as links to Nitty Natty, our friend Nitty and Natalie's, some of the activities that she's doing. And there's a lot of folks who are either participating by themselves or participating in groups. And maybe this was the second or third year,
I think.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get on the ball and do something at Yarnia next year.
Put it on our calendars for like February to check into it.
Yeah, a little busy in February this year.
Absolutely. I think a few things may have slid by us during that month.
Yes, yeah,
like quite
all the emails. So if you sent us an email in January, February, and we didn't respond,
I'm so sorry.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah, so knit along if you can. If you can still sponsor someone, if there's someone who needs additional sponsors and that's something you can do, go for it. So we're happy to be able to help at least get the word out a little bit, if not do a team ourselves this year.
Yeah.
And it's a great cause. And thanks to Laura Nelkin for getting that going.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's just, it shows you the power that one person can have when they're willing to act on an idea.
So
true. So true.
It.
We should start talking about.
Finished objects.
Talking about knitting. Finished objects. I have 0.
Oh, I know. I noticed we've got knit on either side, but
I got nothing.
You're not wearing anything today.
I'm off my. Well, I've got whips. I've got whips in general, but I'm no finished objects for me.
Oh, are we doing our new sound today? Do we have our?
Well, actually, comment below if you notice a difference in sound. So. We tried out new mics last time beforehand. Then I had a podcaster friend who's a photographer as well tell me about a new feature in Final Cut Pro that is AI that enhances sound as if you have a mic. So we used it on the last podcast, if you noticed, and I'm going to use it again on this one. And I think it worked. I think the sound was just as good as having a close-up mic. Boom mic.
And actually, this is a time we can listen and tell because there's a truck idling outside the door. So can you hear the truck?
It's not a miracle,
right? Like you'll probably still hear the truck.
I do think it was noticeably better on the last one. I really do. And literally sometimes we'll have people like looking in the window and chatting and things, and there's a little, you can hear a little something, and I think things like that it got rid of.
Yeah. I think especially the ambient sound definitely is very good at getting that. So anyway, we'll see. That's technical podcasty stuff.
but we'd love to know.
But affects your experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, and I forgot to say what episode it was.
Oh yes, and I forgot to ask you. So what episode do you think it is, Jen?
All right, I know we're coming up to 100.
We are getting close.
It's 96.
No.
97? No. 95?
Oh! Yeah. Other way.
98?
Yes, it's really close.
It is episode 98.
Oh my gosh, we are so close.
We are so close. So
we gotta actually get to putting things together.
Yep.
Yes.
I sent out an email the other night. I don't know if you guys saw it. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But let's talk about finish up.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Amanda? Or
I
shall
will
I go
go
first? Yes, you are wearing a new one.
Yes, I do. I finished. I no longer have 6 sweaters on my needles.
Yay!
I have 5. But yay! I finished my balloon cardigan by PetiteKnit. Yay!
It's so pretty.
Cute.
I love it.
So this is the balloon cardigan. It's so called because the sleeves are very balloony.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! And I knit this in Woolwalk 2, which that's what it says on their website.
Yeah.
Woolwalk's website says 2.
Yeah, which nothing else says that. Ta is, I think, what.
Dunno.
Whatever.
So I'm calling
it's
this
spelled
Woolwalk.
T-A-G-E.
Yeah.
You're so fluffy.
Yeah. So this is a mohair merino blend. I think it's 70% merino and 30% mohair.
Or 75. I think it's 75 or 25.
Yeah.
It's the same yarn that I used in the cowl that I showed last time, which I really loved. And yeah, I've got a little bit left. I've got to do something with that.
It surprisingly does not fuzz that much.
Like shed.
Yeah, I think I forgot to tell this story last time, that I took this project to Las Vegas with me. Did I tell this story last time?
No, I don't know.
I took this project
and you
to
ran
Las
out of
Vegas.
yarn when you landed.
Oh, I did run out of yarn when I landed,
Yeah.
but on the flight there, I was sitting next to a lady who was not happy with me next to her.
Knitting next to you? She didn't...
She did not like me working on my project next to her.
Why? Does someone have an objection to that?
That's what
so
happens
weird.
when you sit in the middle seat and coach. Sorry.
Yeah, that is true.
Tough
Yeah.
lady.
But
she was or you were? She was in the middle seat?
She was in the middle seat.
Yeah.
I do windows.
Yeah. Same.
But but yeah, so I was working on the body of this, and
she probably would have been unhappy no matter what was going on. Being in a middle seat and coach is just not fun with people you don't know.
Right.
It's one thing if it's your family or something.
Yeah.
But she definitely looked at me. She was like, and I'm like, actually, this is not even linting on the dress that I'm sitting on, and there is no fluff in the air at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, if you've ever, some silk mohairs tend to fluff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one, I was like,
yeah.
It's not me. It's the ambient dust in the air of this dirty airplane. But,
and honestly, I am allergic to so many animal fibers. If it doesn't bother me,
that's what I said.
It's hard to.
That's another thing. Like, I think it doesn't. It really retains its fibers much more than some of the other
definitely.
ones. So.
I guess it's the difference of the merino with the mohair than other kind of looser fibers. And,
Yeah.
So anyway, so I knit this. This pattern was written for, I think, a sport plus a silk mohair.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's knit on a 6, so a DK gauge. That's the same recommended needle as the Tosh. So, as the Woolwalk yarn.
There you go.
So I just used it.
Uh-huh.
And held it one-stranded.
Yeah. So much easier, right? So nice to just use a single strand to get that nice halo-y look.
The problem with knitting on a plane is one does not check their gauge.
Mm.
And just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't check my gauge. I still
And
haven't
just kept
changed. I just kept going. But so I finished the whole body on the plane. Then I got home and I did the sleeves. And then I put it on. And I'm going to put a picture of it here. When I put it on, it looks like it's eating me.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really, really big. And I knit the extra small size, the first size.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want too much ease around my bust.
Right.
But anyway, and I think the shoulders look fun. I think the shoulders fit.
Yeah,
The
it
shoulders
fits
totally
nicely.
fit. And I like that's what I was. That's why I didn't.
Fits through here.
That's
where
what
you
I
want it.
mean.
That's where you
Right,
want it to
the
be.
neck fit, the shoulders fit. Like,
Yeah.
so when I was trying this on as I was doing it, I was like, this is fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I finished it, which you're like, why didn't you check it before you, like, as you were going? I'm sorry, having a knitting needle on your project changes the way that it drapes on your body.
Mm-hmm. Pearl strings.
It does. Especially if it's a project that has quite a bit of ease, it will change the way that it hangs and drapes, right? Because there's and a lighter fabric.
You've got to wait.
Yeah, it's a lighter fabric, so yeah. So it changed the way that it looks. And plus, these are voluminous sleeves.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think the body was huge. But if I'd had fitted sleeves, like a lot of Andrea Mowry designs,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Because fitted sleeves, loose body.
One or the other.
Proportional.
Yeah.
Different,
Yeah.
different silhouette.
Yeah. And when
Yeah.
I have voluminous sleeves plus voluminous body, it's just a problem.
It just
So-
looks like a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Right.
So this sweater is supposed to have a fourth button, so it ended like down here. So what I did was the ribbing starts 4 rows after a button in the stockinette section.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of starting below the third button,
Mm-hmm.
I just ripped off over 40 rows back to right under the second button. Then I decreased, and then I started the ribbing again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then now it's a more fitted because I decreased,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also shorter. So yeah,
It looks really nice.
It
I
looks
like
really
the fit.
cute.
It's great.
on decreases. So the first time I did the decreases, I did knit 5, knit 2 together, so decreased every 7th stitch out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a few rounds of the ribbing, and I tried it on. I'm like, this is still too much fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it out. I actually used a tape measure this time. Decided how many inches I wanted out of the
There you go. And calculated how many
divided
stitches
it
to get
over
rid
the
of.
total number.
Mm-hmm.
I decreased 25% of the stitches out. That's knit 2, knit 2 together, all the way across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it like
Yeah, it's perfect.
It
It looks
hangs
really
way
good.
up.
yes.
Well, and also, like, if you look at that pattern, if you look at, like, what people have made, like, that different, like, I've seen it where, like, people have gone with the oversized body and the oversized balloon sleeves. But again, it fits in the shoulders.
Right.
And that's really kind of, like, a key fit point. And, like, that's not your silhouette.
I didn't want a sweater that ate me.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear that, like, giant oversized balloony sweater. You want, like, the balloony effect, but also, like, look, it comes in.
Tailored. Yeah.
Yeah, you like tailored.
So I'm super happy with this now. And
Yeah.
It
I
looks
was
adorable.
I was talking to somebody over the weekend. I was here in the store, and they were like, "Oh, every time I make a sweater, I have to rip out like 3 times." I'm like, "And so, like that's what you do,
Mm-hmm.
like to get the fit that you
Yeah.
want, because it's like it's a miracle. I feel like it's a miracle when I knit something the first time and it fits."
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, how many Felixes did I make before I really
know,
came up
you're-
with a
but,
fit
like,
that I was
or
happy
you
with?
check your gauge.
Well, but I don't know.
Sometimes even when you check your gauge,
I
though,
think
it's
even
not
if
Yeah,
always...
but, like, you gotta,
I think you have
stop
to-
and look at as you go.
I'm not good at
I usually do.
I'm not good at designing in my head either.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know exactly what I want something to look like in my head before I start it.
Well, and
Sometimes
see, that's
you have
different.
to see
So I'm just
what you
gonna
don't
just-
want to know what you do want.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not until I finished it and I'm like, well, actually, I want, like, this
Right. I want it snugger.
and shorter. And
Yeah.
I couldn't... I
Yeah.
don't think I could have done that
I-
from a schematic. I don't have that kind of designers.
You couldn't necessarily articulate that.
No.
Well, and also you don't know exactly what it's going to look like in your yarn and everything,
Yes.
too. You know what I mean?
Well,
Sometimes it's
I mean, that's
the play
something
of
that
those things.
I do go over in the sweater class where people
Yeah.
are like, well, what do I do to the sleeves? And it's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you gotta, it's like, I can tell you how to get what you want.
Yeah.
You can figure out how to get what you want.
Well, and also,
but you've gotta think about, what do I want?
If I'm copying a sweater that I already have, right? Like if I'm like,
then
I
it's
want
easy
this
to
to
say.
fit like this other sweater, then that's super easy. Then I just make sure that the dimensions I have fit the sweater that I already want.
Unit to your
But this does not. I like having new kinds of pieces that I don't already have, and then it's like, well, how long do you want them?
Yeah,
and you're like, I
don't know.
Yeah. But that's where that's the part that I think is the hard thing, because it's like the pattern tells you how to make what the pattern tells you how to make.
Right.
But the question with any modification is, what is it that you want? And that's the part that no one can tell you.
Right.
No one can tell you. I mean, like, we probably would have said, like, all right, I'm guessing, like, for Amanda, she's going to want it to come in at her waist and either be short or long, right? Either be, like, at the waist or significantly longer.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those two things, just because that's your preference.
Yep.
Even if you're going for a different silhouette, like the puffy sleeves are different, then, like, it's not form-fitting, it's got a lot of ease, like... But knowing that, like, I know I'm not going to want a long sleeve. Like, in general.
Right, you
I
generally
know
want a
that
3/4
preference
sleeve.
for me. I want a 3/4 sleeve. Whether that's going to look good with, like, a balloon sleeve, which I actually think it does, you know, or, like, a snug-fitting sleeve. Also, I think it does. But you know what I mean? Like, that's where you're like, if I'm trying something different, if I'm trying a balloon sleeve, then I have to think, is my normal length going to look the way that I want it to look? And if it's not going to look the way that I want it to look, how do I want it to look? And that's the decision-making thing that is impossible for anyone else to tell you what to do.
Yes. And
You've got to think about it yourself.
I have, and I'm not good
hard.
I'm a very visual person.
Yeah.
I don't think I can, like, I don't know. And I haven't been to design school, right? So I haven't tried things on a dress form and seen what different proportions do on different, you know, on my body size or other people's body size, because sometimes the designers aren't my body size, and I see it on their body shape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like it on your body shape. And then I'm like, wait, but that's...
What works for someone might not work for you, even if you're like, oh, I really like how that looks on, like, I think that looks adorable on you. And it's not going to look the same on me.
Right.
Yeah, no, I would
like,
not.
I'm not
that shape
shaped that
for me
way.
either. Yeah.
When I was, so my mom made my wedding dress, as well as the bridesmaids' dresses and her dress, because she's crazy. Well, I mean, there were 2 bridesmaids. It wasn't a lot. I mean, it was a lot.
But
like, it wasn't like it was 10.
But, like, one of the things that she was like, you are going to go shopping for wedding dresses, even though you're not going to buy it. Because I was like, I don't know what silhouette I want to wear.
Yeah.
I've never worn a wedding dress. What the hell? I don't know.
No, that totally makes sense.
And I'm like, and you haven't, like, this is a big poofy dress, or it's not a big poofy dress. What's going to look good on me? So
and what are you going to feel comfortable in?
What are you going to feel comfortable in? And, like, I went and I was like, oh, there's no way I want, like, a big poofy skirt. Guess what? I loved the big poofy skirt. So, like, I had a giant ass, like box pleated, not gathered, because I didn't like the gathers around here.
Yep.
But
box
plates are nice.
No, box plates are nice, and then, like,
great
a
way to
big
have
ass
fullness
bustle.
without
great.
fullness at your
and
waist.
I had pockets. And it was, like, pink silk. It was awesome. I loved it.
In your pockets?
Of course I had pockets. She made it. I had pockets.
Pink silk in your pockets?
Pale pink silk pockets.
That's adorable.
Strapless through here, fitted. She built it around a metal, a corset with steel boning, so it was actually quite comfortable. Pockets in the big box pleat skirts, and then an Austrian bustle where, like, she was the one who was like, you're not getting a huge train. I'm like, I wouldn't want a huge train. And then she was like, you know what, the bustle looks better with a big train. So you don't have a 5-foot train. And I was like, aight.
Whatever you say, Ma.
And, like, we both liked the big, like, Austrian bustle where it, like, folded down. It looked awesome.
Cool.
I loved it. It was my favorite dress. And just
Maybe
a little
we'll
bit of... Yeah, I'll find a picture where I'm actually standing up straight so I don't have a crease at my waist. Which was not her fault.
Details.
That's just my posture. And a little bit of beading,
nice.
a little bit of, like, white beading right across, like, the slightly dropped waist. But, like, I never would have picked that silhouette unless I went shopping.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the thing you can do if you see, like, a trendy style. Like, if you're looking at, like, the PetiteKnit sweaters and you're like, oh, look, there's a couple of different silhouettes. Go to a store and try some of that stuff on.
Yeah.
And see, like, how does this fit? Do I like it? What would I change?
Mm-hmm.
What would make it look perfect on me? Like this looks perfect on Amanda.
So, or you can come here and try on our samples.
100%.
Yeah, I might leave this in the store for. Yeah, I might leave this in the store for a few weeks just if folks
But, you
want
know,
to come and
this
see
this
it.
is the time you might want to wear it though. Like, well, it's still cool. You could leave it when it gets warmer.
Yeah, maybe.
But if
I
you're
mean,
watching,
it's your sweater,
I'm not.
whatever you
I'm
think.
not wanting for sweaters at my house.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you can always wear it when you're working in the store.
that's right.
That's true too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm ever wearing something that you're like, oh, I wonder how that fits, just ask me.
Yeah.
Take it off. You can try it on.
Mm-hmm.
Try it on,
Yeah, our
man.
samples are definitely
Deal.
tryable.
Absolutely. Especially if you're like, ooh, I'm intrigued by a balloon sleeve.
Yeah.
But I've never worn a balloon sleeve.
Mhm.
They're fun.
They are. And it's like, it actually was 34 degrees this morning when I left the house, and I didn't wear a coat, because it's mohair and merino, so it's quite warm, but it's not sweaty, because it's like not right up against your body. Like, there's plenty of
Yeah.
breathability.
And it's not heavy. It's such a light
it's super light.
fabric.
Yeah.
I love that. How many skeins did you use once you did your surgery?
5.5.
Okay.
Yes. I took 7, and I used 6.5 to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
but then I have a full skein that I ripped out of the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You're right. I would have gone a little quicker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Don't be afraid to rip, right?
Oh, certainly
absolutely.
not. No, and
Yeah.
actually, as soon as I took it out and tried it on, the picture I showed you earlier, I took that picture and then immediately went and ripped out the bottom. Or
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just like,
Don't
nope.
give yourself time to question.
No,
Just
I
do
was
it.
like, nope. If this sits around, I'm gonna rationalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Somebody posted, one of our customers and podcast watchers posted on Instagram the other day. She had just finished a sweater, tried it on. She's like, I'm questioning whether I should rip this out. And I responded and I said, if you're questioning it, you probably should do it.
Yeah,
because if you're
absolutely.
feeling that way now when you've just finished, when you should be, it should be the blush of, oh my God, I've got a new, new sweater.
Yeah, new
If you're
sweater.
thinking about it now, you're never going to be happy with that
Right.
thing. And
That's true.
you spent your time and money on it, and
And it's still a
and
whip.
do
You
it.
haven't woven in your ends
Exactly.
yet.
Right.
She hadn't even bound off. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Oh, then it's still on the needles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the time to make that adjustment.
I will say I've never been happier not to follow the pattern directions and do a sewn bind off.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is such fuzzy yarn.
That would
I
be a
don't
pain.
feel like you
That
could
would-
even see a sewn bind off.
No,
There's
you
so
probably
much
couldn't.
texture. So I was
I
like,
don't think you need to.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing a sewn bind off. That was my logic at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I didn't, because that would have
Yeah.
been a pain to rip out a sewn bind
Mhm.
off. I
Yeah.
mean, it would have been impossible. I would have cut off.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Cool.
that's a very long story
About a balloon
about
cardigan.
a very long sweater that is now not so long.
Yay. But it looks great. Kathleen, do you have any finished objects?
I do. First, I'll say what I'm wearing.
Oh, I
which...
do have another one too. We'll get to
Oh,
it.
well,
Oh, I'm
you wanna,
sorry.
You want to do
No,
yours,
no,
or-
no, or whatever. No, go. Use my other ones and I'll have a story too.
We'll alternate.
There you go. So I'm wearing an older finish object.
I love
this is
this
the
finished
Staring
object.
at Stars
I know,
cardigan. Done in Tosh DK in the color Rosinante,
Rosinante.
which I think I've only worn this one other time this winter. Well, actually, technically
Really?
it's spring now.
Yeah.
But it was in the 30s, as Amanda said
Yeah.
when we cut up this morning. So I'd love this, and I
I'm
think
shocked. That's like your favorite Tosh color.
I
It's
know,
such a
I
good
know.
one. I love
It's
that
so
color.
I don't know why I didn't. Well, you know what it is. This turtleneck matches it pretty perfectly.
Yeah.
But it is. I think when I ordered it, I ordered the tunic version, and it's just too long.
Oh,
and
it's not
for a
showing
while,
off.
my sewing room was like not accessible.
Mhm.
So it is now again. So I need to just shorten it, and maybe I'll do that when I go home today. Like just do it while I'm
Yeah.
thinking about
Rip it
Well,
out while you're thinking.
well,
about it.
exactly.
While
Well,
you're
it's
thinking
really
about
bugging me. So this is, but the thing that to me was notable about this that I was thinking of is I think I pretty much really followed the pattern. I don't think I actually made any changes with this, except maybe this. Do you remember, Jen? Because I know we helped a few people with this in intermediate. This may
Aw.
have been supposed to be an I-cord bind off. And I
No,
think I
it
didn't
wasn't
like that.
supposed to be an
Oh,
I-cord
so-
bind off.
but
I
somebody did
suggested it as an
Uh-huh.
I-cord bind off if you wanted that corded edge. It's supposed to be that.
Okay, because
I think you did do it.
I like that.
Yeah,
Two.
I actually did it to
Two
pattern.
snap,
Imagine that. Yep. So
Wow.
yeah, it's really cozy and fun. And I would
Did you
definitely
put short rows in that?
No, it doesn't have short rows.
It doesn't have short
but
rows.
it sits okay. It's, it sits on your shoulders. I think I may make this again in LBA DK.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Maybe with a different kind of lace pattern at the bottom.
That would
maybe
be
switch that out.
pretty.
I really do. It's funny, some people never like to make the same pattern again.
Yeah.
I actually really do like to make the same pattern multiple times, especially if I'm going to change it up a
Really?
little bit.
I've never noticed that about you.
I know, right? How many Felixes?
I have a tendency to not make the same pattern again, Felix being the exception, but that might change.
I don't know, I just feel like you do learn a certain amount, and if something really fits your style...
Yeah.
Why reinvent the wheel? Why, if there's a new pattern that comes out and you love it and it fits your style, go for it.
Especially if you, like you say, you can change up the ribbing, you can change up the lace
totally
on the bottom,
make it different.
like your palette.
Oh yeah, I might actually. Maybe I'll do now that I am totally in love with 1x1 twisted rib. I would probably do that for all the ribbing.
Twisted rib would look nice.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
And so we shall see. But that's something I was thinking about. My other finished objects are really short, so I'll do them now, and then we'll go back to your story. I have another pair of socks. Yay!
Oh, I love that color.
And they don't dye this one anymore. This is also Tosh. This is Tosh sock in the Red Fox colorway, which it is funny because we get a lot of emails from them. I do love Madeline Tosh communicates with its vendors frequently and well and entertainingly, actually.
Yes.
A lot of their emails are really fun. I know there are certain colorways they dropped from their main core of colors, and I think for a while they weren't dyeing them, but maybe if we wanted this again they would do it, because there was something that they said about in that last email. So this is Red Fox.
It's
nice.
kind of similar to, but not exactly the same as the Gigi Love Speckles.
It is. It's a little browny
Yeah.
orange than
It's not
the other one
bright
is a little more
orange.
bright orange. That is really true. Oh, and actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do this in Gigi Love Silver Linings.
Oh, the
That
silver
would be
linings
so
is
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
I do love
good
that, and I
new
haven't
color.
made anything with that yet.
I'm wearing my Gigi Loves orange socks today.
So actual finished object. I made the first. It took me and obviously I wasn't working on it very much, but it took me 6 months to do the first sock, and I think the second sock took me less than 10 days.
Yeah,
and not even being the only thing I worked on. It was just I'm trying to get all my socks off the needles.
Yeah.
So that is that. So last episode, I did finish that pair the day we recorded, and I sent Amanda a picture that she put in. This is another pair. I have one more pair of socks on the needles.
Nice.
And I'm not promising those are going to be finished for next time, but they'll be finished soon.
Yeah.
They'll be finished soon.
My sock web is not going to get done for next time. I got other things to do.
My sock webs tend to just kind of float along until I get, the same kind of thing. All of a sudden I'm like, I need them.
I just feel like I am feeling like I want to clear some of my whips. I don't like having. So that's part of it. And then I have one other half finished object, which I'll save that for later.
Okay. So Amanda's other finished object.
Okay, yes, and then I forgot to have Haley's. So you go, and then I'll show you guys Haley's finished object. She's not here.
All right, this is like a double finished object.
Ooh.
Okay, so last December, you might remember that my mom wanted towels with crocheted toppers for her kitchen. So I made them for her in the middle of Vlogmas and all the travel. Actually, I did the first two that I sent for Christmas on the way back and forth to Iowa when I was vlogging that trip. In our Vlogmas. But we had so many of you guys ask if I could please share the pattern. And I really can't because it's not a pattern. It's more of a recipe and this is how you do it. But it depends on which yarn you pick and how wide your towel is, right? Exactly how many stitches there are. So it would be hard to write something down where it's the number. But what I did instead was, so I finished her second set, which is great. Yay! Woohoo! So I finished the second. Where's these two? So this is mine. Here it is. So this is a sample that she sent me from my grandmother. So my grandmother made this probably in the 80s or 90s, right? Yay! And it hung on our fridge for the last 30 years. The fridge at my mom's house, and she loves it, but now this is clearly
Yeah.
It's
on its last legs.
tattered. Yeah. And my grandmother hasn't made these in 10, 15 years anyway, and then she passed last summer, so there's not going to be any more from her. But my mom really wanted some more. So I made the 2 last December. And finally, I got around to making the other. Oh, look at that. One more end.
It's always another end to weave in, right?
Yeah, no. So anyway, but so I made these 2. So
Yay.
those are the 2 towel toppers to send to my mom, or the crochet towel toppers on dish towels to send to my mom. Yay!
Yay!
And so this time, with this one, I photographed every single step of making these towel toppers, and I wrote up a blog post. So our blog is not very active, but when we have things like this, or, you know, when I'm watching Anne of Green Gables and notice all the knitwear and just want to talk about it, you know, those kind of posts are occasionally added to our blog. So this is going to be added, this will be added, well, by the time this is live, this will be on our website, a little tutorial on how to make these if you would like to have dish towels with towel toppers for your kitchen. So
nice.
These are super fast. I actually finished both of these in one day. Right? And I was obviously doing other things during the day. But I'd say like maybe a couple hours per, if that even. Oh, but that's when I watched all of Nitty Natty's podcasts. So, yeah. So this is my... I use the Rowan hand knit cotton, which is like a worsted weight cotton. Some little of our Dritz buttons, which actually these are as well. I love these buttons. They're recycled plastic. So
cute.
Present from Mother, and a huge blog post for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, take a look at it, comment, and all that jazz. Hope you enjoy it. And hope if you have towel toppers, put them in our Ravelry, like chatter. Chatter thread, start a thread.
Yeah, we can
comment.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad I finally got around to doing that. It's been on my to-dos. So, yeah.
That's a good gift.
Yeah.
And what is your last finished object, Kathleen? Or I guess I should say Haley's
finished
actually, object.
I probably can do this and then do Park Mobile because my meter is about to expire.
Oh, no.
No, I can do it in less than 10 minutes. That's when the meter is expiring. So, last time we podcasted, Haley was here with us, home for spring break. And she showed you that she was working on a square for the Liberty Crochet mural.
Yeah.
She did a lot of work on that one.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yep. Is it this way? Yeah, I think that's the way it goes. You want to hold it?
Okay.
So this is a 2x2 square. Sorry, Jen.
That's all right.
Face. So, and this, Amanda, I'm sure we'll put the link again below.
Yep.
It is a...
That's amazing.
U.S.-wide project.
That's
Every
so
state, they hope, will be doing one of these to... And this is the second one. So this was supposed to be my square, but when Haley finished when she finished the one that she was assigned, she was like, well, I'll start this one for you.
And then she finished it.
And she just kind of kept on, going, which I was really happy with. I mean, I had other things I was working on while she was home. She felt like crocheting. Let's show the backs, too, because they're so kind of cool.
See all these floats.
Yep, nice floats in charge of crochet. She did a great job. She did say there was a little bit of a learning curve with managing the yarn for this.
Yeah.
And that's why she was happy to continue with it. And honestly, I was too. There was a lot going on when she was home. So now both of these squares are done. I will help with the project by seaming.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, Cara Davis is, January 1, is... a customer and friend of Yarnia, and she was in the other day. We actually, if you're in New Jersey and you're doing one of these squares, we're accepting them instead of mailing them to Cara. We could literally walk to her house from here. She's close enough that,
right down the street.
So she pops in. I can drop them off at her house, whatever. It's just, if you don't want to put your hard work in the mail, which I totally understand. I don't like doing that either.
Yeah.
Feel free to drop them off at Yarnia anytime that we're open, and we'll be happy to hold on to it, get it to Cara, whatever.
Yeah.
So that is 2 of our, and I think there are 40 squares in each state's, kind of like a quilt, but not really a quilt. They're mural. It's a mural. It's a crochet mural. Yep. So, but I definitely said, and Cara and I were talking the other day about, how it is going to be assembled. I mean, she does need all of them pretty much before she starts assembly, but we were talking about maybe I could do like do some of them in strips, and then
Right.
joining the strips could be a project to be done in a big space or something.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
That is
you know,
that's a good point.
That's, you know, instead of trying to do everything in one day, which to me sounds really daunting, I'd be happy to work on some of them at home in the evenings,
Yeah,
That
whatever.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So and I'm gonna pop. I'll do Park Mobile. So ignore me for a minute while I'm on my
Yeah,
phone.
we'll go for it. So let's move. Do we have any more webs?
I have a half
I
finished
have some
object.
whips. Yeah.
So let's move on
let's-
to half finished objects.
Let's go to
There you
half-finished
go.
objects and start with Amanda. What you got?
Okay, I have one mitt done.
Yay, me too. That's
Woo!
my finished
That's so
object.
fun. Okay, you guys are gonna go
Okay,
one after the
so
other.
we only have 10 days left as of today. By the time this comes out, there'll be 5 days left
Yes.
for our mitt-along,
Yeah.
right? So we've been knitting
Oh, look how
mitts
pretty that
and
is.
mittens in January, February, and now March. It's ending March. There's 31 days in March.
Yes.
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 All right, so it ends March 31st.
Y'all have no idea.
Yeah. If you're enjoying the mitt-along, please feel free to post your works in progress and chatter and ideas for patterns. There's still plenty of time to start one. Seriously, if
There
you're watching
really
this
is.
on
really,
Saturday,
Honestly.
you can still do one in 2 days.
You can easily.
Especially if it's like this log cabin mitt by Karen Templer.
So cute.
Yay. So the mitt-along goes through the 31st. And then we will close the finished objects thread. When you finished a pair of mitts, post and Ravelry in the finished objects thread one time for each pair of mitts. And then on April 1st-ish or 2nd-ish, before the podcast thereafter, we will, before the next podcast, we'll draw for a prize winner for the mitt-along, and they will get a pair of mitten blockers that I showed you last time by
They're so cool.
Jedro. Yeah, so that's the mitt-along. We are working on our mitts, and this is mine. I have one more.
That was
mitt to
one
do.
of our UPS drivers.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Do you need him?
Well, he's probably trying to deliver something.
Oh yeah, he is. He did. He dropped it right here.
Oh, okay. All
Excellent.
right. Cool. We'll get that after
Yep.
we finish.
But I'll show you this mitt first, and then
Yeah, show
open the
them
door. So this is the log cabin mitts. So they're basically just knit a log cabin square, and then wrap it around your hand, and knit a thumb gusset, and that's it. And seam. But it's super fun. Oh my goodness, these are so addictive. And in this one, I held phenol garn double. So this is actually, so the pattern uses 3 colors. I used 2 colors of phenol garn. So this peach color, I held peach double. On the blue, I held blue double. And then I marled it for the 3rd color.
So pretty. I love that.
look.
And I love how these turned out so much. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm super happy with these. I haven't started the next one because I've got other whips I'm working on, but I will finish them before the 31st.
Nice.
Yay! And
Very
now
nice.
I sort of want new mitts for me, so this is great. I think I might felt these a smidge.
You
That's
have
a fun
wee
idea.
hands.
I do. I have I have thin fingers. I wear a
Yeah.
size 5 ring.
Oh yeah, you have tiny hands.
So I could use a little felting of these. So we might run that experiment.
What size needle did you do it on?
The one in a 6. Everything in my life is on a 6. This is on a 6. So actually, I had to.
Oh, this fits me perfectly.
Yeah.
Short, chunky hands.
I had to finish the
It's so
thumb of
nice.
this that was on my flexi flips
Uh-huh.
before I could do the cuff of the sleeve.
So
So-
So you're like, I need the needles.
Right.
Yep.
But actually, I think I had to do the last strip here. Yeah, I had to do
Yeah.
the last strip and get it off the flexi flips and then do this. Yeah.
These are so cozy.
Yeah, they're really
And,
nice,
a
right?
nice squashy. I
Yeah.
love it.
They're nice. That fabric's good.
It's a nice fabric. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's stiff, but that's what you want. I mean, that's what I want from it.
Yeah.
Is I want something dense
Nice.
and
Well,
warm.
plus it's
Yeah.
just been knit, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it hasn't
Yeah,
had a chance
once
to
it's
relax
blocked.
and
Yeah.
stuff and
Cool.
warm up. It looks
Very
great.
fun.
Love it.
I
like it.
love that I don't know. This is new realizations coming to me that oh, I want phenol garn in a worsted. Well, I'll just hold it double. And do you know what else I'm thinking about doing? That airy silk Held double
Oh, that
Oh,
airy
that's a good
silk
idea.
top
as a
would be
summer
so
as a summer top.
pretty.
That's a great idea.
I'm
It's
really not inspired to do a
a
almost
fingering
lace weight
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
a
It's
light fingering.
fingering top, but I mean,
And in a non-stretchy fiber
yeah,
too, which to me does
But
make
those
it hard.
colors are so...
They're so beautiful, and
Right.
I love that idea. Yeah.
I think that might be coming once some of these sweaters get done.
Yeah, so what other whips do you have?
Well, I'm not going to talk about other whips because
Yeah, I'll
that's
talk
right,
about
that's right,
my
you're
half
a half
finished
finished
object.
object.
So I also have one mitten, or one.
Nice.
I have a mitten, not a mitt. So I did, and these were on Instagram the other day.
Yes, I saw them. They're so pretty.
SpillyJane's Persnickety Mitts. I will come up and show you.
Yeah, show.
Because it's so cute, and these have not this because it's only one has not been blocked yet. So let's see. So this is pre-blocking. Whoops. Yeah, you can dismiss.
I got it.
That was just telling me that my meter was going to run out because I am the person who will get a ticket. So yeah.
All the people that
We're
were
all
all
people who will get a ticket.
Yeah, but I don't know, especially.
I love that.
So I did the thumb in the darker color, even though it's supposed to be in the background color, which is the lighter color, just because you don't really want a white thumb. I don't want a white thumb anyway.
Yeah.
So it's so cute, and they'll be even cuter when they're blocked. It is supposed to be a 3-color pattern.
I like it with the two.
I like it with the two. I was one of those, if I had other yarn that really would have worked with it, I don't know. I was kind of halfway through the hand when I decided it would be even prettier with two, and I just was not about to redo it.
I like it with
Yeah.
the two.
It's
I think
cute,
it looks
but you
really
should
nice.
see some of the ones that are done that have
With
3.
the
It's
3.
just that middle line, and then there's like a little opening in here. It's cute. It's really cute. So what that means is I'm going to make them again
There you go.
with 3.
Shock.
Multiple. I love that. And that's in the cricket?
This is in cricket. This is the Kelborn
Oh,
Woolens.
let me see.
It's the baby
um,
Lucky Tweed.
Exactly, baby lucky tweed.
Oh my goodness.
So I did start my second. I started my cuff on my second one, and it's a really addictive colorwork pattern. You just keep wanting to do another row,
Yeah.
another row. So I'm sure I will knock this out before the end
These
of
sort of
March.
look like Pokeballs.
Yeah, they kind of do.
of.
They really would look like it with
Oh
the
my
3
gosh,
colors.
if you did the right color.
They really would.
Like,
Yes.
Oh no.
you could make like Pokeball mittens.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that would be very cute. So, so partly I wanted to get the socks done so I could get back to this, and this is kind of my carrying around. Even though, it is color work, it's still pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially it's the second mitten and everything. So, yeah. So that is
Cool.
one of my whips.
All right. I'm going to go and I'm just
Yeah,
going to do
because
all my
you-
whips
you
because
haven't-
I don't have
I
that
haven't gotten
many.
to talk about things yet.
Except for I'm going to hold on one of my whips until you and I are
Yes.
ready because we have a little surprisey thing going on. So the first whip is one that I literally started today and just wound the yarn right before
Yes.
the podcast. This is going to be a Sophie shawl, and this is in a new yarn that is
You're a
coming.
tease. You're a tease.
I'm
Yes.
a tease. I'm a tease today. This is the Knitted Wit Boucle.
I'm going to show that up close. So
Yes,
y'all
go
can
take.
Which
You
is
can't
called
get it yet.
Summer
You can't get
Slubbing.
it yet.
I love
It's
it. Summer
coming.
slubbing.
We
though.
ordered
Summer
it,
slubbing.
but we just got this
A
skein
sample
in
one.
to
It's
make a sample.
Coming.
Look at this. So it's the boucle, but with these with these little slubs on it.
They almost look like little cocoons, like little
They
silk cocoons.
Ew. And they
They've
kind
got
of
that
like
nice
they have
ovally
this little,
shape.
like squashy oval. Like it's such a nice texture to work with.
Yeah.
I love this. When I went to
so
H&H last summer, this was one of the yarns that was like, oh my goodness, we must have that.
Yeah.
But
it's so cool.
We had it is like a summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Can I see
It's
the
very light. It's
Oh, yeah.
Right. It
So
is.
that's why
It's,
it's wool, but it doesn't. Yeah,
it feels
it
really
has
like
that nice dry feeling. It
Yes.
almost feels like cotton without
feels
the
cottony.
annoyance of knitting cotton.
And I feel like I love
Yeah.
what is this, Unicorn Giggles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
And I think this is going to be like a fun summery shawl. It's the Sophie shawl, so it's like a nice, easy, mindless knit. Although I have,
doing a show. You're doing so.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
So I'm only going to put the pattern name here once.
Yes. I'm playing a little fast and loose with the increases because I was kind of paying attention to them, but I kind of am not.
That's why I use
She's
the
paying
markers.
attention.
So I
I'm
don't
still
have to.
using the markers, but it's harder to read. It's harder
with
to
the
read
boucle,
this with
for
the
sure.
boucle.
Yeah, it's a lot easier
So
to
like,
read this.
I mean, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is the type of pattern where if you
Yeah.
increase every 6 rows or you increase every 8 rows, no one will know but you, and especially
Yeah.
in boucle, when it's blocked, no one's gonna know.
Yeah, you can kind of stretch it a bit.
But it's so nice. It's light. It's airy. It's like pretty. Oh, I really like it.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Knitted Wit and Amanda for buying it.
Yeah.
So this will end up in the store, and you'll see it when the yarn comes in.
Yes. I can't wait.
I'll just keep working on it. That's a good mindless one. I also have my Tsubaki
I might do a
Pullover.
crochet top in those.
That would be so
At a loose gauge.
at a loose gauge, like right one
That
of those
might
like
happen.
airy. So here's my Tsubaki. I have
Oh my
both
goodness.
So pretty.
sleeves done, but only one seam done because
How many more
showing it.
sweater classes? How many classes does your group have left?
I think we have 2 or 3 left. So the nice thing about basically this sweater is that once you get past the sleeves, everything is basically like straight down. Because it's a top down set in sleeve, saddle shoulder, contiguous style sweater where you never break the yarn. You do a really cool technique called a zip up seam that she developed.
Wow.
I believe she developed. It's really cute. It makes a nice little detail. It's very easy to work.
Oh, look at that.
So basically you knit your sleeves flat with a slip stitch edging, and then you do this technique to seam them up, and you come back
to return the yarn back to the body.
To return the yarn back to the body.
What? Are you kidding me?
No, it's great. And I'll tell you, I don't love knitting flat, especially knitting stockinette flat, but I feel like sleeves are the kind of thing that I get hung up on so easily.
Yeah. And you have to knit them.
You mean you don't have to.
Well,
But you can.
The way this is, it
The way this
forces
is.
you to knit them before the body, so then you're done.
This pattern has the party trick of not ever breaking your yarn.
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
So you knit the yoke, you do all the cool shaping in the yoke, you knit a sleeve flat, you bind off, you end up with one stitch on your needle, and then you do the zip up seam up, you pick up stitches at the underarm, you work across the front, you knit your next sleeve flat, you zip it up, and you work across the back, you pick up your stitches at the underarms as you go, and then go around in the round.
That's craziness.
Yes.
That's craziness.
You would love this pattern.
Well, not only especially after I saw Emily's version yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
She's
so
doing
pretty.
hers in Woolfolk Fleck.
Yeah.
Which we all know I love all the Woolfolk.
Oh,
yeah.
so stunning. And you felt it, right? Like it's just
yes.
It's amazing.
drapey and beautiful. I'm doing mine in La Bien-Aimée, Amy's Flashy Lipstick.
Spectacular.
The Super Sock and Mohair Silk held together. Which makes such a nice fuzzy fabric and nice and drapey and light.
Beautiful.
Super excited to be able to wear this. So I gotta.
Yeah. These plush cables look so good.
They're so like squashing. Speaking of squashy and drapey.
Wow, beautiful.
And of course, and this is entertaining because I had to, after my sweater class on Sunday, I realized I showed the zip up seam technique, picking up the stitches incorrectly. Even that Vivian was like,
oh, no.
but wait, aren't you supposed to do this? And I was like, oh, you can do that, or you can do that. And then as soon as this, like, I closed the Zoom, I was like, I'm an idiot.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm going to record another one right
wow.
away. And recorded like a little 5-minute addendum and sent it out.
I saw several.
Everybody makes mistakes, you guys, especially me. And I was just like, oh man. I mean, the way I said to do it, it would result in a slightly different looking seam.
Yeah.
But not substantially different enough that, like, you know, a layman would be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where as soon as
if anybody is looking at your sleeve seam, they're way too close.
They're way too close.
Yeah.
Like,
they're invading your personal space.
Even another knitter would not necessarily be able to tell unless they were also in the class and be like, oh, did you pick it up the way Jen said first? and like, you know, which, you know, fair enough. So I was like, oh, God. And then, so I was like, no, do it this way.
Yeah.
The way, I'm like, Vivian even said, and I was like, good job, Vivian. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on.
She was paying attention.
She was paying attention, and I was recovering from a stomach bug.
That's right. I was impressed that you actually did your class.
I was like, thank God it was on Zoom.
Days before. Yeah.
Because I was like, it was the first day of caffeine in like 4 days.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, and dairy. So thumbs up.
What I was thinking, this is like a process knitter sweater dream
Oh,
in a way,
100%.
because if I did it, I would do the sleeves in the round.
Well,
I never.
We didn't cancel.
Oh, I
We
hit
just
snooze.
snoozed.
I got
I
it.
don't
It's
know
fine.
how I
Thank
felt,
you. That's
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you. It's now canceled.
this is a pattern that I think I'll make again, mostly because I really love I really like the contiguous shaping. I think it's really interesting. Isabel Kramer and a couple other folks
Yes.
have
Mhm.
a number of other sweaters.
Well, the coconuts, right?
Coconuts
that-
is, yes. There's something very, like the contiguous is, there are a couple of different ways to do top-down sentence sleeve sweaters.
Yeah.
And coconuts uses like one or two ways and like a form of the contiguous. The contiguous was developed by, I think, Susie Myers. I think I got her name right. And it's a very specific way of doing the increases.
Mhm.
She kind of did it as a recipe. There's forums on Ravelry. I'm sure there are blog posts outside of Ravelry if you can't use Ravelry. But the patterns are, there's a bunch of patterns that are tagged contiguous, which are super handy, and it's a super interesting construction. So I definitely want to do more of those, and I think I might actually do like the some other sleeves and use this technique for some other
Wow.
sleeves.
Wow.
See, I love knitting in the round so much more than knitting flat.
So
and
do
stock and
I.
knit. Yeah.
But like, but for whatever reason, these went
Yeah,
so
if
quick.
it appeals, then it's appealing. Yeah.
I'm also very much like,
Kathleen's gonna have all the garter sleeves now.
oh my god, I would do that.
You
for
know,
garter
I
sleeves.
don't love garter either.
Oh.
I really
Yeah,
don't.
I
It's
like
because
garter.
I've been doing this, but I don't. Yeah, in general, I don't. I just love the squishiness of it.
Yeah.
So
I like the result. That's the thing. I need like a driving force to like push me forward.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like I need something to keep it interesting, and I think like the novelty of having the sleeves done. It's the same as like 2 at a time socks, right? I don't love
Yeah.
Magic Loop.
Yeah.
But 2 at a time.
But the fact that it gets you 2 socks done at the same time.
Gets me 2 socks done,
Yeah.
and mentally I'm like, that's not a lot of knitting.
Mhm.
It's the same amount
Oh,
as doing them
I think it's
separate.
more.
But like for whatever reason, it's a
It feels like
psychological
more to
thing.
you, Amanda.
Yeah,
That's
well,
so
because you
funny.
have to like keep dropping your yarn and pick it up, pick it up
Yeah.
as you
Yeah,
switch from
that's
sock to sock. And I'm like, these are seconds that on socks that are like 200 rows each accumulate to 400 seconds, and 400 seconds are material amounts of minutes
But you know what?
of my
it is?
life that were wasted doing
I
something.
like
Yeah.
I like stockinette socks, and so it's like zipping across, 64 stitches instead of 32. Like
Yeah.
it goes. I don't know. There's more to go across before I have to stop, turn, flip, blah blah blah.
And one thing I have my issues with DPNs in general, but it's all those transitions from needle to needle. That's what I don't. To me,
I'm
that's
so
that's
quick
what
with
takes
those.
time, and I don't
Stopping
enjoy.
and turning that takes forever.
Yeah.
It's
So,
so funny.
again,
It's so much
different
Stopping and
strokes.
turning
It's-
what?
when you're doing Magic Loop.
Oh, yeah,
you just
yeah.
stop,
Yeah.
turn, pull.
Mhm.
Like DPNs, you just keep going around.
Yeah. It's so much like there's so many different ways to do things, right?
Yeah.
And just
Yes.
finding what works for you.
Right.
That's
What works for
what-
you and what
yeah.
you enjoy.
Exactly.
Being dialectic and recognizing that like other people have different preferences.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one more whip, but I'll wait and talk about it with your other whip in our next section, which will be like a little preview of something
Yes.
to come.
Okay. Do
So
you
why
have
don't you talk
any?
about
Do you have any other? All right, I'll talk about 2 whips really quickly.
I
Cool.
only have this whip that I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have also been working on a Sophie shawl. Dun, 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 while we've been here. I've been kind of going through my projects in the last month or so, and I found a project that I loved, but it was 8 skeins of Woolfolk Far, and I was like 2.5 in, and I said, I'm never going to finish this.
Oh, yeah.
So it got frogged. And so I had, 2.5 skeins active. And it's funny, when you were talking about the blog post, Amanda, I was thinking I might do one too, because
Yeah.
what I did, I blocked my yarn. I frogged
Oh,
what was
smart.
done, and I took pictures as I did it. So
Oh, perfect.
I blocked my yarn. I can write it up. It's
Yeah.
as I was doing the pictures, I didn't want to do it on video. It was, I did it over a couple of days at different points in time in my nightgown.
Yeah.
Not really video ready.
Yeah.
And but I now at the end of the day, I have the one skein that I had barely started that I frogged that it didn't even need to be
Right.
reblocked. But these 2 had been knit for months.
Right.
And so it was that old telephone cord kind of look. So I am going to make a three skeins of far Sophie shawl.
Nice.
So I'm knitting, and it's funny, this is what Jen and I were talking about this earlier. I accidentally, up to this point where I have a marker, just about a foot in, almost exactly, I was increasing every 8 rows accidentally, because apparently I can't count. I can't tell the difference between 6 and 8 sometimes.
That's okay.
It's hard.
Well,
it's hard.
you know, it's one of those, I don't even remember. I think I started this at knit night or something, and I was chatting. And
Yeah.
So I was, I do have a little thing that I love to do, though, with this, where I kind of leapfrog 2 different stitch markers, because then it's really easy to keep an eye on your garter ridges between your increases.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And the last time I was doing 3 garter ridges between, that's what I did up to here to get the 8 rows.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it properly and doing 2 garter ridges in between, so I'm increasing every 6th row. But this is going to make a nice size shawl. It really is. And
that one is going to be great. Yeah.
yeah, because look, I'm almost
Nice.
done with the first one, but you know, and partly I realized that, like, as I was knitting, I had used almost this much yarn when I frogged some of it last night. I'm like, this thing is going to be like 8 feet long and like 18 inches deep at the deepest point. Does not really sound very wearable to me.
Yeah.
So this much quicker rate of increase, it should get to a nice depth. I don't know. It may still be like 18 or 20 inches deep, but it'll be like more like 6 feet long.
Yep.
So it'll be like wrappable and not trailing on the
That's
ground.
a good wearable.
Yeah. And I just, you know, of course, I love this color. I am embracing my palette as Amy instructed.
As you
Brace
should.
your palette.
I am just going for it. All of the gold things. So there's that. And then the other thing I have that I started since we were last together is my Tenya.
Ooh,
perfect.
Nice.
In Tosh Sock and Citrus.
Oh, I love it.
This yarn has been in my stash for like a good 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I had plans after I finished my last Tenya, which was in the old store. I saw the pictures of me wearing it. It was in our old location. I was like, all right, I want to make another one of these, but with 3/4 sleeves, because I feel like it's kind of a hard thing to wear. I mean, it's sock yarn, but it is 100% merino, and there aren't that many days that a short-sleeved wool sweater really works for me.
For y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mid-July, short sleeve wool. My jam.
No,
You just got to know
to
your
July.
preferences, right?
Exactly.
You got to know what works for you.
So long as it doesn't get to 85
So
or
look how
90
cute
that
this
day.
is. Oh, I could be like Haley with her shirt.
Oh, yeah.
thing.
I love
Your
it.
little,
I'll be an orange shimmer.
marigold.
Yeah,
Your marigold.
marigold.
Oh, marigold.
So, you know, I've done this pattern before. I enjoyed it. Actually, one thing I'm doing is I'm
Is that when
using...
the Tenya starts with lace at the bottom
It
and you
does.
get to do all the fun part and then it's like zoom,
And then
zoom,
you
like,
zoom after that. So I'm using my Cocoa Knits
Oh yeah.
board. I've been...
Love
While
board.
watching March Madness last weekend, that's why I got so much done. So I've just been using this, and I love it that it fits in my project bag. It actually is still
Perfect.
compact enough to fit in there. I'm even carrying my old Tenya with me because.
Oh, so you can reference.
Yep. So so that and
Nice.
I could
Oh,
bring
that
it
drapes
there.
so nicely.
beautiful.
Do you want to bring up this?
Yeah,
This
sure.
could be gleaned, but if you just want to show what the lace looks like at the bottom, most people are probably familiar with. But in case you're not, it was popular
Yeah.
a few years ago, and
look at that lace. See how fun you get to do the fun part of the lace first, and then zoom,
and
zoom,
then,
zoom, zoom,
then
zoom,
onto the
zoom,
easy
zoom.
stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I decided to make
That's
this the first sweater in my queue was because I think by the time I finish it, we still should have enough cool days that I'll wear it
Oh, totally.
at least a couple of times.
Do you think you'll finish before Woolwalk?
It depends. It depends. I may. I have another sweater that I really, really want to cast on. So
Yeah.
if it depends on
Yeah.
if this is my only sweater whip, I should finish it. If this is not my only sweater whip, I won't finish it.
That's my goal for this baby.
Yeah.
That's my
We'll
Woolwalk
see.
whip.
It would be fun actually. So this is my one current sweater whip, and I'm loving it. And one of the things that I did, last time I made it in a speckled yarn, and it's fine. You can see the lace. It's not like you
heavily
can't.
speckled.
But I think in the tonal, it'll show up even more.
Yeah.
And this is meant to be quite oversized. I did go down a size on this because I just, it's fine as it is. The one I have, I certainly wouldn't redo it or rip it out. But making it again, and again, this is one of those reasons I like to make something again.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even after you wear something for a while, it's like, all right, this is okay, but, if I were to do it over, this is what I do. So do it over in a different yarn.
Yeah,
With those
definitely.
adjustments.
I love it.
So those are my active whips.
Nice.
Yay. My only whip that I'm working on actively right now, we all know I've got a million webs now, is the front of my Flower Buds by Astrid Troland. This is what I started. Here's the back. I showed you the back last time, which is all done. Woohoo! Right, back is all finished. So now it needs a front because just the back is not wearable.
No.
No.
But yeah, so I'm actually up to the point. Actually, as soon as I go back across this row, I'll be ready for sleeve increases.
Yay!
So that's great.
So you're almost.
Well, I mean, I'm
You're
gonna
like
do
3/4 of the
sleeve
way done
increases
with the whole thing,
Or
right?
2/3 maybe.
2/3.
Well,
A little more than half.
a little more than
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
A little more.
Is that body pattern similar to the one on the Zweig? Is it kind of a similar, the little flower thing?
No, it's not. Zweig has little. It's actually 1x1 cables.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It's more like on your.
It's more like the twisties.
Yeah. So on Jen's bright reds or bright pink sweater, there are little 1x1 cables, and so that's what is on Zweig. It's but they're just the X's.
Yeah.
Right?
Just the
Every once
centers
in a
of
while.
them, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
I did not know how to cable without a cable needle when I was doing that sweater.
Hope you learned quick.
I did the whole thing with a cable needle.
Oh my
It
god.
was a pain in the booty.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, it's one of those things that's preference. Even with one stitch, I probably wouldn't do it on a cable needle, but sometimes you can be faster even using a tool than without.
Yes.
It just depends on what you like. What's your flow?
That was extremely tedious. But this is not a cable at all. It's just like increases.
How cute.
Like knit front, back, front. So
Yeah.
It's
yay!
cute. It's a nice texture.
Good texture that doesn't drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so this is from Lina magazine number 8, I think. I'll put a link down below. It's a great issue. And I noticed one of our watchers actually picked one up. I think we still have one more here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that isn't out of print yet, or we still have one. But yeah, so the back is done. This is the front. I would like to finish it before Woolwalk. And that's my goal. And so it's like front and back flat and then seamed. I'm enjoying this front, doing it flat because this is a very portable project.
Yeah.
Right, like
working one piece
stuff's
at a
in a small bag, right, and I can just take it to the orthodontist and sit and wait, or I've got to take Abby to the eye doctor today, and I'm just going to sit and wait for like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Those sleeve increases are going to get done, so it is very portable and tiny. Which this is my run around town project, and 5 of every 6 rows are stockinette.
Yeah.
That's
You really
nice.
don't need to.
So that's my whip. All right.
All right. Now
for the kitchen part.
our special event.
Yeah, and I've got a little something too, but mine is not as far along as theirs.
Okay.
I feel like mine's not very far along. Jen's is the furthest along.
Mine is the furthest along, I think.
All right.
Do you want to talk a
So
little bit about
Amanda's
it?
going to do some magic. Great.
Magic.
We're in black and white.
Yeah. And the reason we're in black and white is. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Well, we talked about it already.
That's true.
We're having a special color dyed by Amy of Lobby NMA.
Yeah. Custom color.
That's our custom color, right?
And shall we
Can we
say
say
the
the
name?
name?
I think we can say the
I
name.
can say the name.
Okay. What is it?
Springtime at Yarnia.
So it's going to debut at the New Jersey Woolwalk.
Yeah.
But when it debuts, there are going to be samples knitted.
Yes.
So
Because
guess
they're
we
so
planned.
awesome and
Yeah.
said, and how many skeins would you like in advance so you can make your samples?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So, now we have to knit the samples.
This
We
is
do.
the yarn, which you can't tell what color it is.
So that's the DK. Jen's working with DK.
I'm working with the DK, which I don't think I've worked with the LBA Merino DK.
I don't think I have either.
I
Yeah.
really love it.
That's what I
It's
was thinking.
really, really nice to work with.
I've got fingering and mohair.
And I've got fingering that is not yet even caked.
Hi.
All right.
So, do you want to start with your project, Amanda?
Yes. So when I saw the previews of this yarn, it popped in my head what I wanted to make, which I've been wanting to make this pattern for years. It's an oldie but a goodie. But a perfect pattern when you have a fingering and a silk mohair in the same color.
Yes.
And that is What's her name? Andrea Mowry's Birds of a Feather.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I actually started this. I have one that's a little further along than that at home.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm
so
allergic to mohair, so why was I
pretty.
kidding myself, right?
Yeah, that's so.
So-
I just started this on Sunday. It has to be done before the wall walk. It gets pretty massive towards the end. So my goal, this project is done in sections. So the setup is very tiny, right? The first section is mohair. The third section is fingering. The fourth section is mohair, and it like alternates like that with garter sections and lace. I know it's a pattern that's been around forever, but like I really do think it shows off a you know, a lightly speckled like this.
It's so pretty.
Perfect yarn for this. Oh my goodness, I can't wait till you guys see it. Yeah. So, but you can see my progress until then.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm through the third, or actually the second section, because this is the setup. So section 1, section 2. Today I'll be doing these section 3 silk mohair. And yeah, we'll see how long I can keep up a section a day. I am taking a trip to Kentucky this week. So by the time you see this, I'll already be home. But I've got a little conference, or it's not little, but I've got a conference in Kentucky this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So a little bit of airplane knitting. But yeah, this is what I'll be bringing with me, and hopefully staying on track.
So pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean
mean,
there's 15 sections. So if I did one a day, I'd be done in 2-ish weeks.
And
towards the
even
end,
if
you
you
might.
don't, you've got, you've still got a month to,
Right.
at least a month before
Yeah.
we'll walk, so
So that gives you a little bit of
that's
extra
cushion.
Yeah,
cushion
fine.
for the later sections that get bigger and bigger.
Yes. So
Nice.
anyway, I'm very much.
It's always
enjoying
good to have a
this.
goal.
It
Like,
is.
if you
Yeah.
have a goal, you're more likely to get where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadline knitting. Sometimes that
Always.
works, right?
Always.
How
How about you, Jen?
So I am working on Arco Iris by Joji Locatelli, which is a deep V-neck sweater with cable rib. So the basically right now I'm full in the stockinette. I just joined in the round at the deep V. And I am alternating my skeins helical style now that I'm in the round, and I'm in the Merino DK, which it is just so lovely to work. This, like, I really love how it's turning out, and I'm also making, because it's a sample.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I really love how this is knitting up. Like, it's really just nice to work on, and it's a sample size sweater. It's 36. Size 36 bust, which I was like, man, that goes quick. When you're like, I was like,
It's like when I make something for Haley.
Yes.
I was like, dang, this thing
Have
goes
a lot more sweaters done, right?
speedy.
Yeah. Now you know
Um,
what they make like runway samples in like a 34.
because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can like zip
Use
that
less fabric.
sucker out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So this one is done stockinettes first, and you pick up for the.
stockinette first.
Ribbing?
So yeah, so it's V-neck. So you're working back and forth, increasing in your raglans and your neck edge. Neck edge like every 4 rows or something like that, and to make like a very deep V, because the edge ribbing
The
is
ribbing
like
is pretty
3
chunky,
inches.
yeah.
So
it's,
it comes
so,
up.
yeah.
high.
Also, like when you're wearing it, it's not very deep.
Yeah,
Oh
it's not
right,
very
the ribbon
deep.
comes
Yeah.
up.
It's
after.
Yeah,
pretty.
it's almost
It's really-
like 3 inches of like a rib that has a cable detail on it.
I
And
love
actually,
that.
this was a pattern Amy suggested too.
Yeah.
It's like this was specifically her suggestion for showing off this
And
yarn. So
Hopi really, like, Locatelli wrote it specifically to show off the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you want to show off your knitting and, like, the details of a sweater, and sometimes you just want to show off, like, the pretty
you're
yarn.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is, you get a little bit of detail and whatnot in the ribbing, but, like, this just shows off the
It's such a nice
stockinette
balance. It really is.
really beautifully. And I also realized, I'm like, we don't have a lot of V-neck sweaters in the store.
No.
No, we really don't. Mhm.
So I'm like, I feel like this is a really good option to do. And also, because it's a V-neck, if you're afraid of short rows to raise your back neck, you don't need them.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Because it's a V-neck.
Mm,
Because it already
mhm.
has a lower drop neck. Anyway.
There you go.
And what are you going to be doing?
Seisha has been traveling for almost 2 weeks now.
Ooh.
And when she gets back tomorrow, I am going to have this wound up by then, and she's going to crank me a sock tube,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to make some quick socks.
There you
I
go.
love it.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's the super sock,
yeah.
Which
I,
is such a good
I
sock.
love for socks. It's so
Mhm.
good.
I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to pick out some fun contrasting heel and toe colors.
Yeah.
And and with all the speckles in there are lots of options for
That's
that.
going to be so fun.
So, yeah.
So in a little while, we will be able to show you what this color looks like.
Yep.
And debut it. But until then, get used to some black and whites. And if we show any progress pictures of our work on Instagram or social media or whatnot, they'll be in black.
They will also be
That's
black and
right.
white. Yeah.
But it's super pretty. I think it's a super wearable color.
Definitely.
I think it's going to be really like flattering and attractive in so many different ways for
And
so
springy.
many different folks. And
It's
very
pretty.
Yeah, it
springy
is.
and light. I love it.
Yeah.
So
there are 2 things we still haven't done yet.
wait, we should go back to color.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Ta-da!
now we're in Oz.
Yes. Emerald City. So we haven't done new in store, and we haven't done our winner from last time. So
Oh, yeah.
let's do the winner from
let's do
last
our
time.
winner from last time. Last time we were giving away
One skein in your choice of any of our new LBA bases. So
that's a good one.
the Merino Boucle, the Mohair Silk, Wensley Worsted, and Cory Confetti.
Yay.
So if you happen to be our lucky winner, take a look at our website. You can look at those 4 yarns, see what colors we currently have. Email us at hello@shopyarnia.com with your address.
So wait,
and
who
name.
is our lucky winner?
And we will get it out to you. So our question last time was, what, if anything, are you doing for St. Patrick's Day? And you had also asked about what people were knitting. So some people chimed in with both. Whatever. So our winner is Janelle Daly, and I love this. She's like, enjoyed watching today while knitting my Marled Magic cardigan by Mr. West.
Oh,
So cute.
nice.
At my old age, I wear green on St. Patty's, but no more pub crawls for me. So Janelle, hope you enjoyed your St. Patty's with your knitting and wearing green, even though no pub crawl. So definitely contact us and let us know your choice, and I'll get that right out to you.
Congratulations, that's a good one.
I did not celebrate that much. I opened a can of Guinness.
I
It's draft
have-
cans.
I still have.
was
Yeah.
You tried
still
to survive.
recovering from my illness.
Yeah.
What should our
I have a question. Actually, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we've talked enough about it that we can use this one.
That's a good one.
So yeah, a lot of times we don't think of our question until the time we're asking it. But
Can you tell?
last night when I was prepping for this, I was like, "Ooh, we should ask. Have you ever done a yarn crawl?" And
Like the New Jersey Woolwalk or
Exactly.
another one. Yeah.
Exactly. If so, what was your favorite aspect? Like, what was something fun that a store did that we might be able to do?
Yeah.
Or it's even more fun. Because I think we have a lot of fun with it. We love meeting, seeing people that we see like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Seeing people
We
we
love
see
seeing
every
podcast
month.
watchers.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. So, but is there something fun that we haven't thought of that we could do as part of our Woolwalk
That's
festivities?
a good question.
So let us know, and even even if you've just done a yarn crawl and there was nothing special, let us know that too. And where it was. How about just we always
Yeah.
love to see like where
Yeah.
people are. So that's a fun way to do that.
and then we should talk a little bit about what's new in store so we can
So we can then say the prize.
so we can say what people will win.
Exactly.
So we've been getting a couple of things.
We're starting to get more
starting to
spring
get
stuff.
more spring stuff coming in, and one of I think the more fun things that we've just gotten in are I'm going to reach behind Amanda. Ooh, are the Prim ergonomic crochet hook sets, which
Yes.
I mean I love a spectrum. Like they had me at rainbow.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Prim. I guess I should put the warm colors and then the cool colors, right?
Yeah.
But like.
I know.
Yeah. Really fun.
That's so satisfying. And they're color coded according to size. And we have
Love a good
the
color coding.
smaller sets, which comes in the 3.5 millimeter through 6 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then the larger sets are the 7 millimeters through 12 millimeters.
Which I know that's a 7 through an O. And
Yes,
one I
this
feel
is
like an E through-
EG7HJ. I still don't understand how crochet hooks are labeled.
No one does. No one
E
does.
through J.
It's E
It's
through
a
J.
mystery. It's one of the mysteries of life.
So E through J, and then a 7 millimeter L, M, N, O.
Yeah. So these actually came to my apartment for some reason.
Oh wow,
It was weird.
that's funny.
And I unpacked them on Sunday, and I was like, oh my goodness, they look so
They're so pretty. This
I love
was
the packaging,
I
too.
used my G of this for my Hooked on Grannies blanket, and I really loved it for working with cotton yarn for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's got a tiny bit of tooth to it, I would say.
Yes,
the
it does.
material. And it's funny, just as with knitting with cotton yarn, I use metal needles a lot, and my metal hook, it was just like slipping and grabbing, and I loved the King Cole cotton soft, which I was using, but loved this hook with it. It really worked well.
Yeah.
So.
And these handles are really comfortable.
They're really comfy. The tips are nice and pointy.
Very pointy. Love the pointy.
And the angle, like the hook is deep.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy these. They were very well thought out. All the new Prim Ergonomics line art, and we restocked all of our Prim Ergonomics. Not only do we have the sets, we have the crochet hooks individually, we have the single points as well as the double points.
Yeah.
So,
which are really nice.
They're on our website now, or they will be by the time it goes up?
Yes,
okay, great.
So
Thank
each
you.
of these sets are 35?
34.
34. So, like, these are really well priced.
Yeah, they are.
Like, I mean,
Well,
this
Prim
is...
has been, like, a little bit more economical for a long time, like, as long as I've known about Prim, right? Like, they're more economical than other tools lines, but, like...
So high quality.
But
now
I feel like they've really amped it up.
They've really stepped up.
Yeah, so they put a lot of research behind these, and now...
And still kept the price point very affordable.
affordable.
Yeah, for a set. I mean...
So, five hooks for 34 is fantastic. And, like, pretty colors.
And
such a
high quality, and with all those
with the colors.
attributes we talked about. So.
Right? So, love these. These are new in store. And then, what else do we have?
And then we've got...
sorry.
I'm like, which side are they on? I'm so confused.
Finishing my row.
Yeah, I'm putting mine away now.
Okay,
there we go. Start with
also, we got, not surprisingly to my house, I'll tell you why in a little bit. It was so weird. But we got this new line of Cash Merino Sport, which if you've seen me knit things for my kids or, like...
Yeah, we've got some samples in there.
Yeah, we've got some... also for adults. Is somebody knitting Cash Merino Sport?
Somebody is doing...
in your sweater class,
my
right?
sweater class is using Cash Merino Sport, and it looks
I didn't know that.
It's spectacular. It's like washable. It's
such
super
a nice
soft.
yarn. It's once people use this, they're
Soft
like,
and
I love
drapey.
this yarn. There was somebody who came in for like 2 more skeins yesterday. It is. It's a lovely yarn.
And Woolenvine just made her black hat. She made just like a black plain hat by PetiteKnit, the Oslo hat.
Yeah.
Out of Cash Merino Sport.
Oh, that's
It's
funny. I
with
didn't
a
even
strand of
remember that.
mohair.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
nice sport weight yarn.
So
it is.
So anyway,
Washes beautifully.
oh, super well. Yeah. So they came out with a new color pattern, which they call
like a new print.
prints, which is called Taffy.
Mhm.
So they've got
Love
4
this
colorways of
neutrals.
that. Yeah. So there's like this pastel-y. This reminds me of Easter eggs.
It does.
An
It's
Easter egg
super
fun.
This
And-
is super it's like juicy fruit gum.
Well,
Yeah,
citrus
yeah,
delight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Chiclets.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then
so fun and bright.
this one, our new team member Serena, knit us a little sample of what it looks
Isn't that
like.
great?
So I'll,
So cute.
I'll take
I
a
so you
love
can
that.
see how
I'll show you what the
Yeah.
difference is because we have another sample too.
Yeah.
So we've had the speckles,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously we have the solids.
Solids, of course.
Yep. and we'll show you some.
Yeah,
of
but
the
the
speckles.
speckles I think were new for us last
Yep.
year, or maybe it's 2 years ago.
Yeah. So this is what the speckles
years
look
ago.
like. It's very, like lightly speckles and fades sort of like from one to another. And then this is the taffy, which is like really fun, bold pops of color, right? So, I knit a quick sweater for Teddy in this last year, and I used
So
one of the
cute,
speckles with a solid. I'll put a
Mhm.
picture of him in here, and I think the solids look so good with
in combination.
Oh yeah.
in combo with these.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you could do the same kind of thing with this, right? Like,
Oh, right?
Yeah,
this isn't
sure.
this isn't the same
What an
purple,
adorable
but like
sweater.
even like the white, like this would be such a cute like
Yeah, do the ribbing and the
cute
solid.
sweater or like a space dye.
Right. Well, I mean, this blanket would look really cute.
Yeah.
in
And
this.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is taffy.
This is in the speckled.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was doing, I might do a thicker chevron in the solid, just because I think the taffy is more heavily variegated.
Yes,
you need a
that's a good
bolder.
You need more to stand
You
out
get a
against
stronger
it.
contrast.
Yeah, exactly. But like this
Yeah,
is
you
the
could like
speckled plus the
double the
solid.
length of your
Right?
Yeah.
double the length of the solid, and then
And I think
yeah.
the taffy would be so nice. Like this would be a great thing for like baby blankets too.
Oh yeah.
Right,
I
where you
always
want
recommend this
something-
as a sport for.
Especially
baby
for
sweaters, yeah.
for like the warm weather birthdays, right? Where you're
Yeah,
like,
not too heavy.
I need something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh, do you know who would love this? Abigail.
Oh, This is an Abby. They may as well just call it Abby.
She would love that color.
This is 100%. This would be so fun. So we love this. So the Ellery Cashmerino Taffy in the 4 colors of taffy are new in store. The Speckle has been. The Salad has been for a while, but we love it. So what should we do as our...
I think that's all the alarms.
Claritin time.
To Claritin time. What should we do as our giveaway to answer the question, have you ever done a yarn crawl and what was the best thing a store did during it?
Yeah.
Should we go with the hooks or should we go with the yarn?
I have an idea. Since we've shown so many things, why don't we give whoever wins a $25 credit to Yarnia to spend on whichever of these they want?
I love it.
How's that? Okay?
Ta-da!
There you go.
Fantastic.
Well,
So
that's
you
fun.
can choose.
You can pick.
Yeah.
Yay.
I love that. Make
So-
your own
I love
prize.
that. That's good. Make your own prize.
DIY prize.
DIY prize.
Yeah.
So comment below. Answer
Yes.
a question, win the giveaway. And congratulations again to
Janelle.
Make sure to contact us. And don't forget to follow us online. We're shopyarnia.com, shopyarnia on Instagram, and you can follow along with any of our progress of our special LB8 colorway in black and white.
And don't forget about the Mid-Along. But you'll have a few days left. Get your things posted on Ravelry.
Yep.
Yes.
So that we can include you in that prize drawing.
Yeah, that's a fun. I like those mid
I love
blockers.
that.
Those are super fun.
And actually, one thing we didn't say is we hit a milestone on YouTube recently. So thank you to all of our new folks who helped us do that. Yay.
That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for watching.
I think a lot of that was Amy, too. We got a lot of new people from our Amy interview. So
I will take what I can get. I am happy to do that. Thank you guys.
No, that's wonderful. It's good.
We really do appreciate you guys watching us and following
the likes, the
us.
subscribes, the comments.
The comments are awesome, and hopefully, like anyone who can make it to the New Jersey Woolwalk this year, we love to see you. Please tell us if you're podcast watchers, because we're meeting everyone.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Oh, we should do a... Oh, I have an idea. I have a good idea.
Okay. So stay tuned for Amanda's good idea in the next episode, assuming we remember. And have a great springtime already, and we'll see you soon.
See you in a couple weeks.
Bye.